Today was the official first day of NHL free agency, and oh, am I tired. Woo! A lot of things that happened in the league, a lot of overpays, a lot of interesting developments, a lot of just figuring out who plays for who now? Anyway, sneaky good day for the Boston Bruins, if you ask me, of course. Well, let's start with the things that they did before today's free agency start, and that is re-signing unrestricted free agent who they had on their roster. That is Taylor Hall on the left wing of their second line, a critical part of this Boston Bruins offense. 4 years at $6 million per year, another team-friendly deal. You know, we all love them. They also re-signed restricted free agency on the right side defense, second pair defenseman Brandon Carlo, a big part of the defensive future of the Boston Bruins. 6 years, he's here for a long time, baby, at $4.1 million per year. Again, a team-friendly deal. So, what did the Boston Bruins do today? Well, they targeted one key aspect that we said for years that they have been lacking. Depth at the forward position. You have no depth, sir. So, first of all, let's start with some defensive signings, because they got better on defense, again, if you ask me. Re-signing unrestricted free agent not Mike Sarge Riley of 98.5 The Sports Hub, but Mike Riley, left shot defenseman at 3 years, $3 million per year. A phenomenal signing, really helped puck movement of that second unit with Brandon Carlo. Riley being able to be more of a puck mover, getting shots through, a lot of assists coming through deflected shots. So really good, really looking forward to that pairing staying together of Riley and Carlo. More interesting signing for the Boston Bruins, they signed left shot defenseman Derek Forbort at 3 years, also $3 million per year. Forbort, he is 29 years old, out of Winnipeg, averaged about 20 minutes per game, and here's the part that I like, he is 6'4", 219 pounds, he is a big boy. And the Boston Bruins, big thing that they need on defense is a big boy, especially with Kevin Miller retiring and losing Jared Tenorti. Now let's talk about what you really are here to talk about, and that is depth forwards, baby. Oh yeah, it wasn't sexy for the Boston Bruins, but they got better all around, at least again in my opinion, as they signed Erik Haula at 2 years, $2.375 million per year. 51 games he played last year, 9 goals, 12 assists for 21 points with the Nashville Predators, a team that just so close to making the playoffs in a, let's be honest, a 3-team show over in what was the Central Division this year. Again, a weird division restructuring. Had one really, really good year with the Vegas Golden Knights. Hopefully Boston can rekindle that magic. More likely than not, you are going to see Erik Haula playing third line left wing minutes. They have also signed from the Vegas Golden Knights, formerly of the Vegas Golden Knights, Thomas Nosek, a center/left winger, 2 years at $1.75 million per year. Bolstering that fourth line, this big boy, 6'2", 205-pound centerman, 28 years old, 38 games last season with the Vegas Golden Knights. He scores 8 goals, 10 assists for 18 points, +7 if you care about plus minus at all last year. And again, with a very successful Vegas Golden Knights team, this is a big addition and will more likely than not make the fourth line better, as the Boston Bruins are going to lose Sean Kuraly. But as I stated many a times, Sean Kuraly didn't exactly have that good of a season last year. Getting some size on that fourth line, getting somebody who's not going to get completely outworked on that fourth line is a big priority for the Boston Bruins this season. Now, here's where we get to what I consider the biggest pickups Starting with, as far as I can say, as far as bigger names, Nick Foligno, a all-around player. He can play left, he can play center, he can play the right wing, baby. 2 years at $3.8 million, didn't overreach on the money and didn't overreach on the years because Nick Foligno is about in his mid-30s. Former captain of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Last season, 49 games, 7 goals, 13 assists for 20 points. This was with the Columbus. We don't believe in offense because we're coached by John Tortorella Blue Jackets. And 7 games with the Toronto. We don't believe in a second round Maple Leafs. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, in those 7 games, he put up 4 assists. So 4 points in 7 games with a more potent offensive team gives you kind of an idea of what you can expect out of Nick Foligno. And interestingly enough, because I did not see this happening with the Boston Bruins, they went goaltender in free agency. 4 years at $5 million per year. That is starter money for Linus Ullmark, former goaltender of the Buffalo Sabres. 27 years old, last season played 20 games, putting up a 9-6-3 record with a 2.63 goals against average and a .917 save percentage with the worst team in the NHL. So, a winning record with the worst team in the NHL. Do I need to repeat that? A winning record. This is how good this goalie is. A winning record with the worst team in hockey. One of probably the best thing to come out of Buffalo for a while. And that includes possibly even Samson Reinhart, who is over in Florida now. What does this mean for 2 big names that you have not heard yet? More likely than not, unless he has gone to another team at this point, and I have my apologies for not picking up on that. Tuukka Rask and David Krejci are more likely than not to be not returning to the Boston Bruins, which, yes, will leave a second-line center position open, and we'll see who fills that. I have a rough idea. We'll get to that. And some big shoes to fill for Linus Ullmark at the starting goaltender position. I am giving Ullmark the starting position over Swayman right now based solely on the money, and Swayman only having 10 games of NHL experience. Swayman and Ullmark will be in a timeshare. I don't know if it will be 60-40, 50-50. We'll see what Bruce Cassidy does with that situation going forward, but definitely you'll see a lot more of Jeremy Swayman this season, and because Boston just doesn't like to play a goaltender for 60-70 games. It's just not how they work anymore. So, with that being said, let us take a peek, pull up the graphic for how I predict next season, at least for right now, as of the filming of the first day of free agency. A lot can happen, some trades can happen, some other stuff can happen, we'll find out. This is how the Boston Bruins might possibly line up as of who they have acquired. So starting off, the first line is what it is. Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, and David Pastrnak. The perfection line, the 90-point line, one of the best lines in hockey. Second line, Taylor Hall, Nick Foligno at center with Craig Smith. Following that up, we got Eric Haula with Charlie Coyle at center and Jake DeBrusk on the right. Following that up on the fourth line, Thomas Nosek, Curtis Lazar, and Chris Wagner. For your defense, I am slating him as a top pair for the moment. It is Derek Forbort with Charlie McAvoy, Mike Sarge-Riley with Brendan Carlo, and Matty Grzelcyk alongside Connor Clifton, with your goaltenders being Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark. Now, I know what you're saying. Why Forbort on the top pair with Charlie McAvoy and not Matty Grzelcyk? Well, you can move some pieces around. These pairings are not stationary, of course. But Forbort being, again, 6'4", 219 pounds, more of a stay-at-home defenseman will let Charlie McAvoy be a lot more offensively minded. where Matty Grzelcyk being a similar play style to McAvoy. I know the chemistry's there from their Boston University days, but it's a much better on paper pairing than two offensive-minded, like-minded defensemen. And again, not saying that if you're down a goal and you need to do it, you can move Matt Grzelcyk up. You can move him up to top pair, left defense. Let's get two really good shooting defensemen up on that top pair and try to get another and bang a goal in and all that. So, anything is possible, but the Boston Bruins have gotten better on the third line. They got better on the fourth line. I think they maybe stay the same on the second line. Nick Foligno might not be as much of a kind of playmaking passer type that David Krejci was. We'll see if Boston addresses the second line in any capacity. We'll see who kind of takes that role. And yeah, the top line is the top line, and the top line is your best line still, and it will be going forward. So get used to that if you're not already. Exciting day for Boston. Sneaky good. Again, didn't overpay for anybody. Didn't necessarily underpay anybody either. I think maybe the only reach is an unproven Ullmark, but we'll see what comes out of that. He's shown to be pretty good. Melody, I believe Melody Martin really raves about Linus Ullmark. I know she's very upset as Boston has taken yet again another Buffalo Sabre from her team. And I do believe also our good friend in Toronto is a little upset about the departure of Nick Foligno. But that being said, everybody, tell me who you think is the biggest acquisition thus far for the Boston Bruins for free agency, or the biggest acquisition of free agency in general. For free agency in general, I'm saying Philip Grubauer to Seattle. That was a hell of a pick for them. But anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the drill. And we will see you next time for any and all pressing news and the start of the 2021-2022 NHL season. It's a full one this time on the next Bruins Recap Show.